Hey guys, Mario here. So today we're going to be doing, well, let's just do it right off the bat. We're spilling the tea, girl. We are spilling the tea. I want to talk to you guys about what's going on with the Abby, with the LGBTQ community, because it's hypocritical what's happening. It's scary what's happening. These people trust Dr. Fauci, who in the 1990s pretty much used gays as an experiment with the whole HIV pandemic. You have people using polio and smallpox as a justification for being vaccinated and forcing vaccines on other people. When polio took over 100 years to develop a working vaccine, there were thousands of people who were damaged, deformed, and killed by experimental polio treatments. Smallpox is a great example of a human being able to use a similar virus to protect them against something more virulent or something that's more deadly. Cowpox was a small, minor infection that most milkmaids got, but they for some reason didn't get smallpox. That's exactly where the birthplace of vaccines came from, is inoculating people with cowpox, which is a minor infection, and it protected them and gave them lifelong protections against smallpox. My own sister was infected with the SARS virus back in 2002. She almost died. Luckily for her, she survived, but then she was also, I don't want to say brainwashed, but she was convinced that the next best thing for her to do was to go and get the SARS vaccine. Well, as soon as she got the SARS vaccine, she was hospitalized, and she was hospitalized for a while her body started adapting and taking on and figuring out what was going on with it, when in fact she'd already developed the antibodies necessary to fight SARS and all of its variations. We see studies now 15 years later, 17 years later, where people who were exposed to SARS and recovered still have not only the antibodies, but the T cells. T cells are real things. They're not just things that you're going to see in the movies with Resident Evil that turns people into zombies. T cells are cells that are designed to identify and destroy infections that are already familiar with it. This is part of our natural body process, and I don't understand how we have convinced ourselves and had the media convince the masses that what your body does naturally is not good enough and you must do something synthetic to boost it. You do not need that. We have not needed the flu vaccine for many, 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 many years. Sure, the people who are weak and susceptible go get the flu shot, but understand that the flu shot is a shot in the dark. You don't know what variant is going to pop up this season. Flu is a very variable disease and a very adaptable disease. So what we do as a society when we create the flu shot, we look at statistics and say, well, we haven't seen this variant and we haven't seen this variant, so let's create a cocktail of these variants that haven't shown up and give them to people in hopes that that's what's going to show up in the season. This is exactly why people are so hesitant to take the COVID shot. Now you have Delta Airlines and United Airlines and Southwest Airlines going, hey, we're going to back off this whole vaccine mandate. And you're going to see that more and more as people step up. You have nurses and doctors who work with COVID infected patients at the very beginning of this pandemic. They neither got sick or took it home for their families and continued working through the pandemic. Now they're choosing to continue to work without those same protections because they feel their body has protected them to the best of their abilities and they don't need a boost. We should respect that. You're going to lose qualified doctors, qualified nurses, qualified teachers, qualified employees because you are forcing people to put something into their bodies that they don't want. Whether it's approved by the CDC or not, it is not acceptable, and it's against Nuremberg codes for you to force other people to put something into their body against their will. This is what the tea we're spilling, and this is what we're talking about. This is why we are so passionately fighting both the Abbey, Harlow's, and any other business that wants to create a mandate and say you have to have a mask, you have to have papers, and you have to have a vaccine before you can move about your country. We will not let that happen. I love you guys all. I talk to you guys soon. Mwah! Bye, guys.